Right then, after some technical difficulties, can somebody tell me in the chat if they can hear me? If they can't, I will cry. Magnus says hello, so I'm presuming he can hear me. I can hear you. Are we all okay? Right. That's bloody
Oof.
marvellous. That was a good 20 odd minutes wasted thanks to me. Well done, Bernie, as always. My technical skills are always as bad as they are. We had a wonderful conversation as well, but it is what it is. I guess you got them talking mentally insane.
I'm sure it is mostly self-explanatory.
Yeah. So, like I said, I was asking obviously Bushy and how did they know about the 3 million then? Did one of you guys mention about the 3 million Canal was taken off Josh Campbell? Because I thought I
You
said that.
mentioned it.
Yeah, so how did they know? Someone said they knew about the 3 million in chat. How would they know
Well,
about it?
maybe
I think
Hang on.
I said it. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Did I say? Cause how would they
Yeah,
know about
yeah.
the 3 million in chat unless they knew secret information what we didn't know about? Because if they couldn't hear me, then I'm just putting it out there.
unless they're on the tape, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. So my dogs are lovely, aren't they? The Ellie's here, so
Interesting.
they'll be fine in a minute. Right, so so we're back. So we've got a lot to go through. We lose Bushy, I think, 9:30 to go and get murdered. Apparently, is that right? Against the Amazons or something?
Stay
like
on. I just might be a bit here, there, everywhere. I'll play because I'm not expecting to win, so I just play my game while talking. It's fine.
I had it down to win that game. To be fair.
Oof, no. Have you seen my team?
Yeah, but you got Sonny Bill, haven't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
but
So, so you heard this?
Yeah, I mean he's the core of the team. As long as you got him, Bushy, you're fine.
See, I thought
I-
I thought he was tanking the season. I think he was pretending to lose was Bushy earlier, so he could win this trophy.
Getting
Now
an easier.
and now
path, yeah.
he's in this trophy. He's now gonna win all the games and then blame it on divine intervention or something like that. That's what I think
That's
he's gonna do.
the
God wills it
opposite
and all
of what
that.
we're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
yeah. Right, out we go then.
Yeah. So welcome to Tizzo. I did say that earlier, but obviously you didn't hear me because my mic wasn't on. Just quickly, what I basically said to Bush in that, obviously you heard what he said. I asked him basically how he was finding it. He said he was loving it, especially the role playing side. And basically all I said was that, like I said to you all in season 1, we're gonna get things right and we're gonna get a lot of things wrong. And I said about obviously in week 7, I was pretty ill to be fair, but I did mess them up for Squiggy. I won't say what I messed up because it'd be unfair on Squiggy. Again, it might not have worked, but again, it just gave me a reason why I've got this other thing in place now, so that shouldn't really happen again. Although, as I said to my guests, the funny thing is, when I went back to the mistakes I'd made, someone had actually tried to do it to Squiggy what he tried to do to somebody else, and I forgot them doing it as well. So it kind of balanced itself out. So there's a bit of backstabbing, bit of thingy. Like I said, if I'm being brutally honest, I was a bit disappointed with some of the coaches because I expected some of the coaches, I'm not going to name anyone, would have actually done the role play a lot. And they didn't. They did very little of it. But then there was some really good ones, obviously, who did very well. Squiggy, I think he was at it straight from the off, straight from the off, and then I think the nerd kind of like made it go tits up. And then obviously, like I said on the other stream, some things I did get mess up. Like I said, treasure hunting, I was very disappointed the way I did that. Criminal gangs could have been so much better. I think the thing what scared me about criminal gangs more than anything else, and I think this is why I backtracked a bit on it, was people just trying to try and kill everybody. And when I mentioned to a few people about their player might be missing for a while, they was going bonkers. And I thought, well, just imagine if I turned around to Blitzy and said, "Oh, a pink torpedo. Someone's assassinated him. So that really good guy you haven't got." I kind of felt like people would just quit on the spot. So I did row back.
Blitz might, but that might help the rest of us out. To be fair, he's going to walk it.
So kind of like, and then I wasn't happy with that, and I certainly wasn't happy because the thing with treasure hunting was he was supposed to be trying to get that secret artifact, and it just didn't go right. So like I said, there's a lot of things I wasn't happy about. There's a few things I was happy about, and I feel like where I am now, it's in a much better spot. Or like I said to you guys earlier, I kid you not, I have over 500 PDF documents. I have about, I don't know, 50 spreadsheets, all sorts of stuff, and obviously I was doing it by myself. So you know, it is a massive intake, especially when I was learning on the job. And one of the main mistakes I made on the job was when I was people would tell me what they wanted to do. I'd add it on Discord, and I kept it on Discord, but I think what had happened is the ones who was like really into it, because I was getting mountains and mountains of like messages from them. Sometimes I forgot what they'd asked for and missed it. Now, majority of them were very little, and people reminded me, so there wasn't missed. So now it's all on. Every time someone says to me, "Oh, I don't know, I want to sling Vanessa in Scooby's freezer and stitch him up for it," it's basically on this different system now. So as soon as someone asks me, it goes on a different system. What me and Hellhammer are going to be able to see, and it'll be on there. So we flick on that click on that, and we get it done straight away. So hopefully, things should not be missed now. But again, like I said at the beginning of the season, this is a massive thing. It's something I've always wanted to do, but it's a very learning thing. Season 1 is going to be, you know, there's a mistakes going to be made. It's as simple as that. And, you know, whether people like it or not, I'll own up to them. And as long as we improve, I think, you know, it's going to be good. I think majority of people enjoyed it. There's one coach who I am really happy about. I thought he was just a quiet guy who just here just to play his games. And he has been so sneaky, causing so much shit that franchises are blaming other franchises, and it ain't them. And he's having a lot of fun, and the stuff he's got planned for the wedding, well. So that was my favourite bit. I probably given too much already. He's probably going to DM me and say, "I can't believe you've just done that to me, Bernie." But he came out of nowhere. He got his confidence, and he's been causing problems. There's a thing what Bearzo did, and he said I can actually announce it because I got a lot of heat for this. Because like Bearzo was getting like stitched up, and Bearzo at the time wasn't doing nothing. You know, he was just playing his games. I think he lost his clock to go for week 1, and various other stuff. And people were just taking shots at him and then blaming him for stuff. And he was like, "Why? Why are they blaming? What can I do?" And he actually paid Max Stallion, I think it was, a decent amount of money to say that someone had given him like 2 million and shit like that. Well, my fucking DMs went fucking mental. 2 coaches straight was like, "Oh, how come he's getting all this money and all this stuff? And oh, I can't believe it. There's something going on." I ain't give him anything. I'd give him nothing. But the point was, he'd paid Max Stallion. And this is what I'm saying about role-playing. They thought outside the box. And I'm getting people literally going, "I can't believe that. That's not fair," and all that. And I've had to take it because basically he's just outsmarted them. They've come for him, and he's thought, you know what? If I say I've got all this money and power, and I've got this background and all that, they might leave me alone. And to be fair, after that, nobody touched him. Nobody touched him. I don't know, it cost him about 100 grand, something like that, to Max. Because there's a news segment out. I said that was genius, absolute genius. Bearzo is quite a smart guy though. He's very, very smart. Like I said, people go after him, he'll get them back. And he did that, and he was like, "Will that work?" I said, "It might work. I'll type it up," and it did. I got vilified for it, and he was laughing. He said, "Oh, I'm really sorry," because he felt real bad. He said, "Oh, they're gonna think you." I said to him, "Look, Bushy's one of my best mates, and I put him through hell, so there's no bias there. I don't care. I just want good stories." But it was a really smart thing he did, and honestly, it triggered so many. Well, I say it triggered so many. I think it triggered two coaches, but neither of them went after him after that. So that was genius. But this is what I'm saying. Role playing in this game, you've all got to be smart and think outside the box. And if you can do it, and I'll try and make it happen. So that was my favourite story so far, apart from this of the franchise who I was really surprised we were doing all this naughty stuff, and they're getting away with murder, literally, and they might do it at the wedding. I'm just trying to read up what we're saying here. Right now, we're just starting playoffs. As we get to the later stage, you'll be able to sign up to create a franchise. Oh, yeah, he's talking to somebody else. I think it's Squiggy. Talking about that, though, mentorship. Obviously, in the new season 2, we're going to have mentorships. Because I think a few of the people, I think with Lepega is more of a language barrier than anything else. But I think a few coaches didn't join in the role-playing the add-ons because they didn't understand it and they was a bit scared of it. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to have a mentor, and certain mentors will be assigned to coaches. Any new coaches will come in, and if they need help, and basically they will help them. And the agreement will be is obviously your mentor won't sabotage it or give any secrets you two have agreed to other franchises. So to make it fair. Magnus says he'll get into more role playing this season. Yeah, I think sometimes it's just confidence and stuff like that. And I think there'll be a lot more role playing this season because, like I said, I think season 1 there's so many things what went wrong at the beginning. And when I say about that is people pulling out at the last minute. And even with the player polls, I was talking to Scooby, and he was on about this like, oh yeah, if you finish, you've got these rivalries and stuff like that, and you're supposed to be like 2-4s, 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 and we have to change it. So I had to scrap that. And because people pulled out on the last day and stuff like that, and then another guy quit because he didn't read the rules. Shock horror, you know. But the ones who stayed have obviously had a good time, and you know, and we're hoping in season 2 we'll get on really, really well. So I'm going to quickly go through the rules for season 2 and see what you guys. So for the first thing, basically changing franchises. If people want to change the franchise, they can do. There'll be no penalties, but I stress you now, season 3, if you change franchise in season 2 to season 3, there will be big penalties because you know you're actually changing a complete company, really, aren't you? So this is your one-off to try and change your franchise and have no penalties. I can't see Fez changing. Obviously, he's welling with the goblins. He's building the orphanage as we speak. Bushy. What we doing? Are we decided yet? Obviously, I'm trying to convince you to play Vamps, aren't I? I don't know if I'm getting anywhere.
Yeah, you're trying to convince me to play Vamps, and you really are. I think if I'm quoting you, you said, "Oh, you would be great with Vamps," and I don't know.
I think, and I'm on stream now, so I'm obviously on record. I think if you go Vamps, you'll win a championship. It's as simple as that. I've seen you play Elven Union and various other things, and I just think the vampire style will suit you very well. And don't forget, this is Twisted Destiny vampires as well. You know, you could even
Vamps on steroids.
Yeah,
big words there, big calls.
And the rumor is Josh Campbell. Would you want to sign Josh Campbell though?
Would I want to sign Josh Campbell is another question, isn't it? Let's see how the wedding goes first, shall we? I don't know. Like to be honest, I think the line I've been saying is my intention is to stick. I might change my mind if all of a sudden there's attacks on playing Renegades, because it seems like every Renegade coach is dropping them quicker than you can imagine. Mm-hmm. I might change, but at the moment the intention is to stick with them. But we'll see.
Yeah, I think Renegades have had a really rough season. I know why people went Renegades is because obviously mixed of different races and like people played in Blitz, that kind of went into that. I think the most successful one apart from yourself was Armak. I think he actually outperformed his brother Jimmy, so Armak will be extremely happy about that. Yeah, Woodies. Well, you could play your Woodies this season, Squiggy. There's no penalty. You could go to your Woodies and you can play them, and you'll have all your stuff. You'll still have your squig thing, pen, and all that, so you can do that. Elves have done quite well so far, dare I say, in season 1. Why is that? Anyone want to ask? Why all of a sudden we got... I think with Mr. Blitzkrieg, nobody knew who he was. We now found out he almost plays at freaking tabletop international level. And I think, no disrespect for his play pool, he ended up in the softer of the 3 play pools. If I'd have known how good he was before that, I'd have slung with Bushy. You know?
Oh, cheers.
Sorry, like that.
I'll take that as a compliment, There
you go, you see, I'm nice. You and Fez are in the same play pool, are you? So...
Yeah, that's aimed at both of us, I presume.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, why are Elves doing well? Is it because they're just so super? I mean, the thing is, I suppose as well is Blitzkrieg's Elves are actually been breaking stuff as well. They're actually out punching the killers. That's crazy.
Yeah. Some people get all the hot dice, don't they? No, I think Elves. Elves normally you've got quite a lot of tools anyway to cause problems. Once you get like say the agility 1 plus that, really like with dodging through gaps and into cages, it really gives you some options, particularly if you've got like an edge strength up. Yeah, that you if you can pop that ball loose, you've always got a chance. And that's the thing. I mean, maybe that's why I should try out Vamps, because my attitude is right. Can I get this ball loose? I think when I played Fez in the first game, I think I worked out with my Skaven, I had 2 heads. I was like, all right, so 4+ cage diving. If I get this ball loose, I'm laughing. Elves can do that, and if the ball goes loose, Elves will punish you, especially Elves on steroids.
Yeah, I mean, and this just shows you how bad I am. And Squiggy saying that, and Painkiller said that, and they said, "Oh, I warned you, Blitzy was a better elf coach than me." I tell you what, I can't even remember anyone saying that. I know you will have said it, but that went right over my head. And obviously, Blitzy, yeah. I mean, it's not like there's rubbish coaches in that playbook because they're not. It's just that I think he would have been better off. I think what I did, everyone I wasn't sure about, or people who obviously are a decent level but not top tier, I put in that player pool, and obviously him and Will, I'd never seen Will play either. They both was put in there, and them two quickly dominated that player pool pretty quickly. But this is going to happen. This is Blood Bowl at the end of the day, and I did notice, and I was very surprised at this. I don't know if you saw in Discord, Mr. Blitzkrieg was saying he's got loads of money. He was bragging how much money he's got, and he's looking into making more money with other franchises. Most coaches I've spoke to want to keep quiet how much money they've got, because there's a few coaches who've got a very big amount of money and they're keeping that quiet. But Mr. Blitzkrieg's like, look, I've got loads of money. I want to spend it. I mean, I suppose it helps having a super rare merchandise store as well. But yeah, I was quite surprised with that. But I suppose at the moment he's just confident that he's going to win it all, isn't he? So yeah.
Yeah, well, we're building an orphanage, Blitzy. Get in touch.
Yeah, help him fund that. Right, so obviously, if you're starting, so basically, if you're changing franchises, there's no penalties. If you stay loyal to the franchise in season 1, you get $500,000 as a thank you for staying with them. So I tried to be as fair as I can. Do you know what I mean in that respect? And I know that went down quite well. If you're brand new to season 2, you get $3 million. Pick whatever team you want, and we go from there. I will do a video because we've got a new YouTube channel for Twisted Destiny, and I'll be putting everything on there. Even this will go on there. We'll get some beginner videos in there, helpful videos to try and help you on your way, because it is quite demand. It's quite, you see all this stuff and you're like, oh my god, I can't play in this league because there's so much stuff. But like I said in season 1, you can do as very little or as much as you want. There is coaches who have been successful and they've done nothing apart from play the games. And then there's been others who have played games, done well, and also did stuff off field. And there's people who's not done well on field, but they've had so much fun off field, it doesn't matter. So there's so much stuff you can do. And I always think when you come around once, then you know what you are. Because I know for a fact Fez, Squiggy, Bushy and all them, they've all got their own plans of what they're going to do in Season 2. Like Squiggy is just going to go, frick the add-ons, I'm going to go solely playing. Where some people, when we see the new add-ons, might decide to think that's for them. I'm trying to catch the chat as we go along as well. So the draft as well, gentlemen. We've changed the draft. I think this is a lot easier for myself. I'm not going to lie, but obviously this is very old Blitz style. Apart from it's not Snake, it's like the NFL, NBA. So basically, you all take it in turns to pick a player, and then obviously it goes from that. So if you're at pick number 3 in round 1, you'll be pick number 3 round 2, round 3, round 4. Obviously, you can sell picks, you can trade picks, and all that sort of shenanigans. There's all that available. I like to say, if you're picking a Golden Generation player in round 1, I think it was just like
100 grand.
Is it 100? I thought it was 200.
200.
Yeah. So if you want him that desperate, you've got to pay that tax to go with him. So there's going to be a lot of shenanigans on that. But I think the draft will be a lot more exciting now, and it'll be a lot more easier.
So there won't be like auction style bidding then. It will be the
No.
taking turns. Yeah, unless you're counting, under the table deals. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the bidding and all that sort of stuff is buying picks and trading picks. Like, I'll give you 100 grand from a 9th pick if I can have your 4th pick and trade like that or whatever. And then obviously like round 8, 50 grand per pick. So if you don't want any rookies and you just want players from the auction, you can do. Because obviously there's 7 rounds, so obviously you're going to get 7 players. The people who are coming back from season 1 can keep 4 players unless they have the 6 sponsors, and they can keep 6 players. But we'll get onto that a bit later on. Fortnightly rounds. Everyone, when I asked the question about feedback, everyone was all for this. And after a lot of problems we had scheduling games in 2 weeks, I'm glad we're staying at 2 weeks. Is that the right call, gentlemen?
I think so.
Yeah.
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 there is a lot of stuff. Like I said, there's a lot of punishments going to be done for people who basically make no effort and keep missing games. It's also, I haven't put in the tiebreakers yet, but it will be as the main tiebreaker. So say, for instance, I don't know, Bushy and Fez are both the same, and one of them didn't play a game and it was their fault, then they lose the tiebreaker. So that will now be the main tiebreaker, and then it'll be head-to-head. So it's something I'm really cracking down on. I was really disappointed. And some of the games what were played, there was like really hard for a coach to like, they'll be like, oh, can you play, can you play, can you play? And nothing happens. And then 2 days later, that guy had then messaged saying, oh, can you play today? Well, it's just not acceptable. Do you know what I mean? And the other thing as well is people would try to play like on a Sunday, the last day, but then one of them couldn't play it. So then there's no other days to fall back on. Do you know what I mean? And these dogs are, oi, enough. And the other thing as well is I'm going to go to time zones. I didn't want to, but I feel like I've got to try and maybe go time zones where I can, because I would, like I said, I thought that the reasons for missing games this time around was to do with the holidays, and maybe there's maybe 2 games that was missed on holidays. So the rest was because one side or both coaches didn't talk until the second week, and they maybe about 3 days say, oh shit, we better get this in. And I think it's really unfair. It's disrespectful of myself, disrespectful of the league. And, you know, that's something I'm cracking down on. I know some coaches have had it really hard, and I've talked to them, and all I can do is I promise them now, season 2, we won't be having any of that. But if there is an issue of real life and stuff like that, like Dragonblade had an issue in real life, come to me and we'll sort it out. It's when you don't tell your opponent, and you don't tell obviously me, and just keep it quiet. You know, we all don't know what's going on, and that's what frustrates us. So, yeah, we're sticking with 2 fortnightly rounds, and obviously it gives us more chance for role play as well. So yeah, making money obviously, and add-ons we'll go into in a minute. Mascots, new mascots. Are you guys happy with your mascots at the moment?
I think my mascot is very cute and fluffy.
Mm-hmm. It's Critter Fritz, isn't it? Critter Fritz is your mascot.
Critter Fritz, yeah.
And what about yours?
And my mascot, fine. I mean, to be honest, nothing radical. Although, who knows? That's the thing with the mascots now. Like, knowing that some of them are part of the alligators, you do scratch your head and you go, "Oh, have I got one of these dodgy mascots?" But
yeah, I mean that's the fun, because people who don't know, there's the golden trout killer, and he's a massive serial killer in Sundsville. He goes around killing Golden Generation players. I was tempted to kill one, you know, just randomly roll a dice and see which one he went, but I just thought one owner's going to hate me, and I didn't do it in the end. So I think I killed a retired Golden player instead. So there's him, and he's a mascot. That is confirmed. He is a mascot, and I can confirm one of these franchises is paying the Golden Trout to be their mascot. And then there's the alligators, and there's reports of maybe 3-4 of them, and they are also mascots for franchises, and you're funding them to be child kidnappers. And obviously, sadly, Fungus died trying to save some halfling children and was murdered by the alligators. And that was in Gran Canaria, wasn't it, when the endurance race was going on as well, and sad times. Yeah. So there's a lot of shenanigans going on, and like I said, the funny thing is when you're a franchise, you don't know if people are trying to sabotage you, and at the same time, you don't know if your mascot's a serial killer. It's good fun. Let's not forget some of us got arrested after he or his crew set us up to look like the guilty party. Yeah, the pet. Yeah, actually, I want to tell you more, Squiggy, but I can't, because then but you know, it gives everything. I wish I could, like, end of the season show what everyone did, because some of you guys would be like, I didn't think that guy would stab me in the back. Oh, I thought it was Scoops and it won. Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. But yeah, and the thing is as well is obviously, as we know, Gus is dead, Fungus is dead, but a family member is a mascot for season 2. So let's hope he doesn't die. So like I said, missing games and late schedule, it's there. All these will they be on Discord tonight? Probably tomorrow, but tonight or tomorrow, all these will go in, so you can all read them. It goes down there. I am going to add on the head-to-head. Golden Generation players, it'll still be only 3 people. You can have 3 unless you take the sponsor. So you got your squads there. Obviously, we're going to be bringing out a media show every 2 weeks. It might be on mine, it might be on Fez's. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do with that yet. We still need a name for it. I haven't picked one yet. I know we've had a lot of people send stuff in, so I'm going to have to pick one there. And obviously, if you don't know people, at the end of the season, you can only keep 4 of your players unless you took the sponsor. Well, let's keep 6. Easy said than done. Right, okay, let's get on with it.
Bushy only needs one.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? That's
I'll only have one to pick from by the end of it all.
I can imagine. We're going to be on this stream now, and we're going to be having Bush going, for fuck's sake, when he's playing his game.
You know it.
Long as we don't hear Sonny's dead, we were all right. Because if he says Sonny's dead, we cut the stream.
That's it.
Right. Okay. So let's.
Flags at half mast.
So I'm gonna go. As people can see, there's so many tabs I've got on here, so I'm gonna go through them. The first one we're gonna have a look is the town of Stunsville. So obviously with the role playing sort of thing, I'm trying to like give you a vibe of what is actually in the city of Stunsville. I'll put the town, city, whatever. And obviously we're gonna have a look at a few of these now. So the Bank of Stunsville is there. Obviously, that now is an important building because you can now break into it. It's not easy, but it's potential there. So everyone knows what the Bank of Stunsville is. Now, we have new add-on rules for the Bank of Stunsville, what we'll look at soon. But there's that. Grimhold's Jewels, that's a Dwarven jewellery place. So obviously now you can go and look at all the lovely jewellery and buy jewellery if you want. Or try and steal it. And then we've got the Rose and Sapphire, that's the Elven version. So we've got a Dwarf version and Elven version. Basically, the very famous jewellers in the game. The Grey Seahorse is a tavern where you can go and talk to people. So as we go into season 2, say for instance, I don't know, Scooby wants to talk to someone or whatever, they'll probably go to the Grey Seahorse now and probably discuss shenanigans or discuss just normal things. So you can now use your own network to put people in there, try and find information out. So like with a lot of conversations you do now, there'll be certain places you will have to go to talk to them. Otherwise, it doesn't count. So let's say, for instance, Fez says, Bushy, I'm going to give you 500,000 if you can take care of, I don't know, Squiggy's CEO. Now, if he doesn't have that agreement in place at one of these buildings, it doesn't count. The reason for that is so that other networks might pick up this rumour, and then they'll be able to report it back. So that's something we're going to be doing in Season 2. So you have to go to one of these places. The Grey Seahorse uses the best place to do stuff like that. And Gorgly Lightbreaker, one of the Circle of Deals guys, is a big mafia boss. He owns this place. So secrecy is usually a good thing for him. People wanted a cult in, or some sort of like God wills it sort of thing. So the Temple of Destiny, that's our religious cult in Stunsville. Look at it, it looks lovely. Doesn't look completely thingy. Obviously it's got some Nuffle things on there as well. Nuffle dice. Now Zara the Failed Fortune Teller. So you can go to Zara and she will tell you a fortune. So Josh Campbell goes there a lot, so he's very in that. And I think it was Zora, the alleged vampire woman from Circle of Deals. She's quite a bit of a mystic, so she can tell you the future, the past, or anything. If you want to know who screwed you or someone who might be giving you danger for a ridiculous amount of money, she might be able to tell you. If you believe her or not is up to you. The Stunsville Zoo, yeah, that's where all the dangerous animals are. Or if you want someone to disappear or be eaten, that's probably where you want to go. Someone might even unlock a cage, maybe. Again, that's where you go. But it's also a good place to speak to someone and strike deals. The shipping docks, again, very dangerous at night time. During the day, not so bad. Night time, if you're sending people there, you better be sending them for doing some dodgy stuff or something, because it's deadly. You could lose people there. I'm only quickly just saying these so you can read it all when you look at when it's on the Discord. The Looted Lion, that's to do with treasure hunting, so you can go there and sell stuff if you really want to. But there is an auction, what I would recommend selling your stuff to, because you probably get more money. The Twisted Vial is another one. This is owned by Derek Thorne. So like I said, you're hearing me say a lot of the Circle of Deals players in this, the NPCs, they're going to be bigger in Season 2. All these places you can rob if you really want to, but do you want to rob a Circle of Deals player? I'll leave that to you. The Market Square, that's where you make all your food, and you buy all your food, your clothes and that, and apparently a lot of people die there. Don't know why. Steal money and all sorts there. The Sudsy Dragon, well, first thing, it's a laundry. It's where you wash all your clothes and stuff like that. Money laundering maybe? Who knows? So again, that could be another place where people meet up. Stunsville Court of Justice, when we say about, when they send the Ned and everyone, all that stuff, this is where they end up. And if they're found guilty, they go to the jailhouse. Again, you could go into the jailhouse and try and find information. Again, it's all about role playing. You guys are now got to use your brain and think of, oh, well, if we go to jailhouse, maybe there's someone there who might be able to get information on certain mascots, certain gangsters, certain things like that. Nuffle News printing, obviously that's Max Stallion, but Max Stallion doesn't earn the Nuffle News. His family do. So the Stallions are a big, massive family. We only know really about Max. In Season 2, we'll get to see a few more of the Stallions. So that should be exciting. The Vault of Fortune, that is the auction. So a few times in a season, all the rare artifacts your treasure hunters have found or you've built, you can sell to the players, and the players will bid for them. And some of these items will be very good, and you could make a bit of money on them. And then there's the Twisted Destiny Police Department, who apparently always arrest the wrong people. They're still after the Golden Trout Killer, they're still after the alligators and various other killers there. The White Tower, that is where the Stunsville mayor sits. Rumour is Sonny might be running for the mayor, and if he does, that's where he'll be. And Stunsville restaurants, we've got loads of choice of restaurants, and the food critics got to go and see all of them while the playoffs are on. But again, you can go there, you can chat and everything. But if you're doing shady stuff, better be careful, because the person who owns a restaurant might be able to hear, or might have listening devices there. The Lustful Dame. Yes, well, do I need to explain what that is? If you want companionship, that's where you go. Wonder if we'll see Bushy there. The Black Crow, it's basically a bit like, you see in like Game of Thrones and stuff like that. You get a little message, give it to a crow, and he'll send it somewhere else. It is allegedly the safest way of sending messages to other franchises, allegedly. The Codex Arcania. Now, this is a shop what sells blueprints. The blueprints you buy of certain things to build to do with treasure hunting. So we'll come to that a bit later. And the Orphanage, the Clean Place site, the Orphanage, that is being built, and that is sponsored and built by the one and only Fez. So the Orphanage is there. So they're the sort of like the buildings we have in the city of Stunsville, and they will be used, and you guys can use them. So, for instance, you want to buy blueprints, you go to the Codex Arcania. If you want to talk, and if Bushy and Fez might want to strike a deal, they might go, to one of these other buildings. So I'm trying to get the role playing involved in a much broader spectrum in Season 2. And if you want
making the city of Stunsville a bit more of a mapped out kind of physical place, I think will help with that a lot.
Yeah, cool. Like I said, I'm going to see if we can sort of. I mean, you guys, well, I've just proven how shitty I am at technology. But it's kind of like if I can get some sort of like map or something, that's something I'm going to try and find. I'll maybe try and harass one of my children to do that. Just so we got a feel of the city, because we didn't really have that last season, and now we've got these, and where you can go, and obviously making franchise and having to meet other franchises in certain buildings, it just adds a bit more excitement. And then other like franchises, if they've got the intelligence add-on, they can send detectives or other things out to try and listen into this sort of stuff. So I think this is going to be good. I quite like this, and I think obviously we'll add to that as we go along. So yeah, right. One of the biggest things I've done, and this is to do with the Golden Generation players. I have this really bad feeling about Golden Generation players, and I don't think majority of owners will take it very well if they was murdered or various other bad stuff. So we've changed it for Season 2. Basically, it's franchise staff. So each franchise will have an owner. That's obviously yourselves. A CEO, what runs it for you. A finance manager and a mascot. And obviously, all these give you benefits, as you can see in here. Like for instance, the owner, obviously, he always funds money into the franchise. So every round, you roll 1d10 times 10k worth of gold. So if you roll 70, he gives you 70k gold. The CEO doesn't earn your money, but if he's kidnapped, killed, or hostage or anything like that, you will lose 1d6 times 10 worth of gold each round, because obviously your franchise is without a CEO. Finance manager, he makes you money. If you win, he makes you more money. If you lose or draw, you make very little. And then your mascot, he always used to make you money. Pardon me. But obviously now, if he's kidnapped, then he's not making you money. And I don't want to spend too much time on this, but if you read it, say for instance Bushy, I don't know, he kidnaps, I don't know, the mascot of Squiggy, then whatever money that mascot would earn for Squiggy now is earned by, it pays to Bushy, so Bushy earns more money. Obviously the problem is obviously people will be looking for him, the police will be looking for him, and all that sort of stuff as well. But if you kill the mascot, then he can buy another mascot. If you keep him hostage, he's not allowed to buy another mascot. Same with the CEO and the finance manager. So I'm trying to kind of like tell people really to kidnap them because they'll make a lot more money. If you kill someone, then it's personal more than anything else. But the bigger they are, so for instance, I don't know, if Vinny the Eagle was kidnapped, then Twisted Destiny Police will probably throw their full financial support to find him. And the more money they throw at it, the harder it is to keep him hidden. And if you're caught, like I don't know, if Bushy's caught with, I don't know, Squiggy's mascot, then obviously big fans and maybe jail time will come. So there is a bit of a sort of like risk reward thing there. But now this is what you'll be all attacking. So if you want to attack something with this, it will be Golden Generation players, and you cannot kill a owner. Because you just can't. You can kidnap them and all that stuff. If you want to kidnap Fez, you want to kidnap Bushy, you can do. We can't kill the owner, otherwise they can't play the game. So, but everything else is free. You can do anything you want. But like I said, keeping them hostage is usually the best way of making money. So that is what you'll be targeting in Season 2 and not Golden Generation players. Although you can still kind of get things to make them miss games. Right, Season 2 mascots. I'm rambling on here. What do you think about that, guys? What do you think about the franchise staff instead of players being taken? A fan of that or not a fan of that?
That does sound, like you say, a bit safer than killing on-field players and stuff like that. It sounds quite cool. Yeah, obviously, clean play society, the people would never get involved in such skullduggery, but it sounds cool for other people. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that's it. I mean, the thing is, it's like let's just say, for instance, Pink Torpedo was murdered. Yeah, everyone would be happy, but he's going to be fucking pissed. This politically, if I say, oh, by the way, guess what? Someone's just killed your guy. I just think that sort of swing could see people go, you know what, I'm quitting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And not being able to do anything about it it would be rough. Yeah.
And so this is why I've done this. So then basically, people don't buy the add-ons or don't buy the security or whatever, then they just lose money, but they don't lose anything in the team. So if some people do just want to play the game, and there's nothing wrong with that, so they can still play it. It's just that they're going to get less money for the team next year, So I thought that was kind of like a safer option. What do you think, Bushy? I know you're probably playing your game now, but
yeah, I'm just getting myself set up. No, I do like that actually. It's a fine balance because I do like that risk of actually no, you could just lose everyone, lose players. But yeah, I think as this kind of evolves, I think I do like that. And just if something bad does happen, it's not necessarily like, well, that's it, season over. But I mean, it'd be interesting to see how it works. I think that's going to be the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, because basically the thing is you're just going to lose money, and the money you're going to lose is the money you acquire. I mean, you'll still get your gate receipts, and you'll still get other things. It's just that obviously, if you don't look after your people, then these sort of things are going to happen. But again, that's why the criminal gang is going to be quite important this time round, because obviously they're the ones who can usually do that. But yeah, let's see what else we got. So the mascots, all the mascots are back. A new lot of mascots now. Some of the mascots from season 1 will return, but obviously we got loads of new ones. I'm not going to go through them. I did thing him. Good old Barney's back. You've got some environmental friendly mascots there in good old Fig Leaf. You've got Porn Stars in Big Willie. Aurora Sky, 350 grand. Woo, a lot of money. And this is this Fungus's son. Oh, look. I can't even pronounce his name. Don't know why I gave him this name. Agaricus or something like that. Is the son of the former mascot Fungus who was brutally murdered. Let's hope poor little Agar there doesn't die as well. Like I say, there's so many cool mascots this season. There's some really cool traits, and there's some really bad traits to some of these. I ain't going to say much. Arvy's the one I'm interested in. I think he's the big rival to Vinny, apparently. But yeah, new mascots, plenty of mascots there. I'm not exactly sure. God, you can buy me for 120 grand there, apparently. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. I don't know if it's going to be first come, first serve or what yet. But they're all your mascots. I will add, obviously, quite a lot of the older mascots there as well, because I know some people love their mascots. So there we go there. Right, so sponsors. Let's get on to the sponsors. New sponsors and updates. This is going to be interesting. Some people are going to be happy, some people are going to fucking hate me. The Golden Goose. Nobody took the Golden Goose last year. Nobody really was bothered. Most people was happy with the 3 Golden Generation players. Fair enough, no problem. So what I've done this time round, instead of having 4, you can now have 5. Again, I don't know if this will... Anyone with big money might want to take the Golden Goose. The sponsor payout is 1.7 million, so I think I might up the money slightly. But I definitely up the Gold Generation players. So basically it means you can take 5 level 7s instead of 3. Do you think that's alright? Do you think it was warranted, the up?
I like it, because I think, to be fair, if you go for 5 level 7 players, your TV is going to be insane. So you are giving away a lot of inducements, so it will balance itself out. Ooh, double skull from Yami there. Sorry.
It's alright, see? Look as it goes along. There's, I mean, I don't think it's something you would take, obviously with big goblins and that, but you know, some teams do have a lot of money and they might want to build a full team of superstars, but obviously again, you have to be giving away inducements, so I think it balances itself out. I'm just trying to read stuff while I'm here. Right, okay. Shall we get on to Dragoon All Stars then while we're here then? Right, this was so popular. I think it's either the most popular sponsor or the second most popular sponsor, and then after a few games, people realised they should have all gone Dragoon All Stars. So what I've done, obviously you can take the star players, but this time the sponsor payout has been nerfed. I think it was about, I'll have to have a look, but it was about 1.7.
It was 2 million last time.
Was it? So that's been well nerfed because everyone was on it. So yes, you can take the star players, but you'll get less money. So I'm expecting a wizard nerf. Oh, you're gonna love that one, Squig. You are gonna love that one. I told you we're gonna annoy people, aren't I? I've not gotten any use out of it. Out of what? Oh yeah, but Prank, you took that Dragoon All Star as fluff. You didn't do it for anything else. Obviously, Prank took a Temptation team, took Dragoon All Stars just for the fluff of the thing. And obviously, he never used it because obviously he was like, I don't know, 3 million TV. So do you think that's fair, guys? I mean, the nerf on the money, because if it was 2 million, I've dropped it by 500,000. Do you still think people will take the sponsor?
For star players, yeah. I think.
Yeah.
I look at it. I didn't go that, and I kind of go, oh, well, maybe because I've had a horrible season, but part of me goes, yeah, actually, I mean, this game here, a couple of star players would make such a difference right now. That if you know you can make that money, that shortfall, part of me goes, yeah, star players still good. So yeah. It'd be tempting. I'd be tempted. I'd want to obviously see what all the sponsors are first, because I'm assuming we can change sponsors, can't we?
You can, yes, yeah, definitely can change sponsor. That's not a problem. Is Fez still with us, or is he dead?
Sorry, I did have to go for a second there, but I'm back, and I'm all up for the Dragoon All Stars.
Yep.
Best sponsor in the league. Don't care about the money.
Yep.
Just care about Ripper.
I think people who taking Dragoon All Stars, they're already on a low TV team anyway. So cutting the payout from 2 million to 1.5 obviously doesn't bother what happens on the field. It's probably going to hurt a bit more off the field if they go that way. But I think that's a much better balance now, because I do think the star player sponsor is easily one of the best. Honestly, that and Trump Towers, they were the two what were taken. I think Trump Towers was taken because obviously it was an auction style, so the extra 200 grand, whatever it was, did do quite well. Right, Circle of Deals. Here's a new one then. So obviously we know about the Circle of Deals. It's one of the sponsors. Now basically, you get... basically, if you take the sponsor, you can take one of these add-ons for free. Restaurant, Treasure Hunter, Intelligence, Counterintelligence, or Meet the Players. So there you go. It's showing you a few of the new add-ons we're going to look at in a minute. If you end the league season, not the playoffs, a league season with a winning record, you get to keep that add-on. If you don't, if you're 50-50 or a losing season, then you have to give the add-on back, and you'll be barred from being their sponsor. The other part to this is if obviously your sponsor payout is only 1.4 million. The reason for that is because obviously you're getting an add-on for free. But if you have a winning season, that 1.4 million goes to 1.8 million, and if you win the Cup of Destiny, they will pay you 2.5 million. So this is the circle of deals saying, look, put your money where your mouth is. If you're as good as you say you are, we want winners to circle of deals. They don't losers, they want winners. So if you win, they're going to be your best friends and they're going to give you loads of stuff. If you lose, they're going to kick you to the curb. So, Prank says spicy. Anything from you two? Anything you want to say about this sponsor? They've gone quiet.
I'm just thinking. I mean, having not necessarily won a lot of games this season, but then part of me goes, well, I would hope I would have better fortune next season. I don't know. It's quite a high risk, high reward. But if you're cocky and confident like Blitzy, then go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's. I think the elves are gonna like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Right, someone gave me the name Pick of Destiny, and we've used it. So DraftKings has gone. It's now called the Pick of Destiny, the sponsor. Obviously, I had to think of what to do with this sponsor because obviously with the auction gone now and all that stuff, I had to change it. So, rules bonus, extra round 1 pick. So in round 1, you'll get 2 picks. So that's massive. But the second pick will always be at the end. So if there's, say there's 20 coaches, you all get 1 round pick, you'll get the 21st pick. If there's 2 of you with this sponsor, then I'll roll to see which one gets the 21st pick, which one gets the 22nd pick. But to have 2 round 1 picks is massive. And obviously, if there's 3 franchises or the same, you can sell it as well, I think, if I remember correctly. Now, there's something what I aren't going to go into much here, but after the league stage, you know what we've just had now? There's going to be 1 round of free agency where there's going to be players you can draft to take into the playoffs, but you can only take 1. And the people with this sponsor get the first pick of that free agency. So that could be big as well. And they get a free 8th round pick. So every 8th round pick costs you 50 grand. Well, for your first one, you get it for free. So Pick of Destiny is all about the draft. If you're most important about the draft, then this pick is for you. And 1.6 million isn't the best payout, but it's not the least either. So 2 first round picks, first pick in the free agency, what could be massive, and a free 8th round pick. So, I think it's pretty good if you're all about the draft. Any of you two want to say anything? FT Crusades is a big fan of that. I like this a lot without feeling it's OP, says Squiggy.
This pre-playoff draft sounds interesting. That sounds like people could get a big boost there.
Yeah, this is it. Like, for instance, like Bush has just been saying about he's gone into the playoffs crippled. Yeah. Well, guess what? And one I don't know, golden generation player could make all the difference. But I will say this: it's going to be a small draft because there's only 1 round. So if there's 3 of you, 3 vampire teams, and one of you's got the Pick of Destiny sponsor, you're going to go before them 2, and you're going to be able to get that play before they do. So this is for draft people who really important about the draft. I don't think it's OP. Like I said, I've tried to make them as balanced as I can. We'll see what happens what people pick. But yeah, I think the free agency round is much needed. I think a few teams have been crippled, and I think it just adds a bit more drama. Do you know what I mean? A bit more drama to it. So yeah, that's a Pick of Destiny. So hey, Royce Towers there. This takes over Trump Towers. Any Trump supporters, I'm sorry, but I kind of feel like we should have our own sort of like characters. But he's minted. He's got more money than Trump, believe it or not. So Rules bonus, you receive 400,000 into your franchise account before the draft to help you sign players. It used to be 200, it's now 400. But your sponsor payout, I think, has dropped from 1.7 to 1.5. So basically, I've took off the sponsor payout to give it to you early doors to either buy add-ons or buy draft players. So, yeah, I'm glad you guys liked that, because I wasn't sure how people was going to take the draft sponsor. I think I was hoping I got it right, so I'm pretty happy that you guys think it's fair. So Royce Towers, not really much to say about it. If you want that extra bit of money, you can get it. I don't think it'll be as popular as it was when there was an auction, but I kind of wanted to keep it. So, you know, it is what it is. Anything to say, guys, or is that just quite simple to move along?
Straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty straightforward one, yeah.
Right, this next one, oh man, I almost got rid of it. The Choppers Org Medical Group. One person took it. And they did use it, and it actually saved one of their best players. So they definitely got their sponsorship out of it. So the bonus for this one now is any time in season, including playoffs, this sponsor lets you heal one long-term injury like it never happened. -1 strength on your enforcer, no problem. Just Choppers will fix it. Can only be used once in a season, cannot revive death. But what I've done with this, I've given it a big boost on sponsor payout. So it's now worth 2 million. So it's one of the better sponsor payouts. So that's where they've got their, buff. Still the same rules, they just got a buff to the money. So, will people go for it? I don't know, but we'll see. Now the next one, the Future Incorporation. Now this, I'm interested to see how this goes down, because this is one I was, twisted and turning over for quite a bit. So let's go to it. So the Future Incorporation, if you're looking for a sponsor that can delve into the future and to see things, then this is a sponsor for you. The corporation can make you aware of a mascot's history and give you a much better chance of getting a better, maybe money-making mascot than a bad one. Each round it will let you delve into the finances of one franchise and let you know their balance and add-ons to their franchise. So bonus start of the season, you can pick 3 mascots and the sponsor will tell you any good or bad trades regarding those mascots. Season 1 proved the right mascot pick could make a lot of money, and some of you don't know how much most of your money has come from good mascots. And some of you have lost money for bad mascots. Each round you may look into the finances of a franchise to know what their franchise balance is. It will also tell you the last transaction they've ever done. Now I will state this now. This bit about the add-ons, that will tell you. I think I maybe something like D3 worth of add-ons at the beginning of the season, because I thought knowing every add-on they have might be too powerful. So I need to reword that a little bit. But obviously you got the bonus start of like trying to pick a mascot what's not going to cost you money. What I think is quite useful, and then each round you get to see the last transaction of that thingy. So I don't know, say for instance, Fez pays Scooby 200 grand. You will be, if you go to that franchise, it'll tell you last transaction. He paid that coach that amount of money. So you're thinking, well, why is he paying him all that money? So this gives you a lot of intelligence, each round, and you also get to find the balance. So if I know what a coach, you think he might have a lot of money, and he's only got 300 grand, you might think, crikey, he's either got a load of add-ons, or maybe I can try and do bad stuff to him. Where, for instance, Bushy might have 2 million in the bank. You think, you know what, I'm gonna kidnap one of these guys because I know he can afford the ransom money. Do you know what I mean? So it's all about knowledge. Can it be defended against? I think there's one thing maybe it can be defended against, but I don't think any of you's going to get that in season 2. So I'm going to say no. So if you get it, but don't forget, they only get to pick one franchise at the beginning of the sponsorship, and that's D3 worth of add-ons to one coach only. So if there's 24 of you, he only gets to know one lot of add-ons from one coach. And then every round, and there's only 7 rounds, 7 times he can see a final transaction of somebody. So this is an interesting one. I quite like it. It's a decent payout, 1.6 million. And it's just sometimes you might get lucky. And it gives paranoia to the rest of the franchise as well, because I think if someone's got this, and I'm going to tell everybody who's got what sponsors this season as well, so you'll know if anyone's got this. So if there's 3 of these about, that's probably going to make you think, oh my god, I better be careful how I pay people or whatever, because a lot of deals are made and money is thingied. So any sort of transaction, any sort of thing like that, you will find out with this sponsor. Gaz, or what are we thinking?
I like that one. Quite different from all the others. Quite unique. So I
Yeah.
like it a lot, actually. You know, if we didn't love Star Player so much, I might consider that one.
Yeah. I think it's a bit different, isn't it? I've tried to go for something different. Bushy's probably winning by now, but can you speak to us, Bushy? Or?
Sorry, I have no idea what you're going on about at the moment. My apologies. I am just concentrating on my turn.
Disgraceful.
So
Disgraceful. We'll let him off. Yeah, I think some people, like I say, Squiggy likes it, but he wouldn't take it. That's fine. It's just a case of giving different options because everyone plays the game differently, and I just thought someone might take it or they might not. But someone who wants to find out stuff is interesting. Six is back. Very simple sponsor. You can take 6 people. Unfortunately, Ivan Kondu has been arrested, so you won't get the leader skill anymore, I'm afraid. But you do get a better payout. It's up to 1.7 million now, so you get more money. You lose the leader thing. What really wasn't people were not bothered about anyway, to be honest. And this basically lets you keep 6 players instead of 4. So if you don't really, what's the advantage of keeping 6 players? Well, you might have 6 really good players. You might have a player who's leveled up, and you want to keep him. And if you don't need all these picks, as long as there's 3 with the same race, you can sell your picks. So it was beautiful fluff prank, but we decided to get rid of it. And that is all your sponsors. Now, where's the Wizard sponsor? That's what we need to address. There is no Wizard sponsor anymore. Anyone can take a Wizard.
oh, lovely. Sorry, that is up to your thing about the wizard, then, not about anything else.
People, certain people wanted the Wizard, and you've got it. So the Wizard is for everybody. Not many people took the Wizard sponsor either. I think it was, like, I think Squiggy took it, and maybe one other. But so generally planned around being the only one with a wizard. I think there's 2 people with a wizard. I still believe if you're a low TV team, you're still going to have the advantage. I think a high TV team with that sponsor means they can take a wizard as well. So that I thought made it a bit more unfair. So I think, like, if you're low TV, like Fez for instance, he can take a wizard because he's low TV. So I just thought taking the wizard thing out there, it just opens more options for people. And one of the things I did hear from people was they would rather have the wizard as an inducement, because obviously a lot of these people are losing the star player inducement, so giving them the wizard inducement I thought was a fair trade, fair balance. So that's what I've done. If I'm wrong, then we can look at it in season 3. But I think I'm very happy that we've done it, to be honest. I like to say, yes, it does help certain teams, but low TV teams should get help. So there we go, all that done. Right, I ain't going to say much about the restaurants. Nothing's changed, so I just put up here just so I can remind people. Criminal Gangs update. This update also came out a while back now. So read it all there. I think this gets a bit more, obviously. It is a very expensive thing now. I know a few people got a Criminal Gang last year and they didn't really do much with it because obviously that was my fault. So they will get refunded if they don't want to keep it. If they don't want to refund and want to keep it, then they come in at the standard criminal thing of 100 grand. And then obviously you can go up to gold standard and you can go to platinum, and then obviously these are the skills you can take. Word on the street is going to be quite powerful in season 2 because obviously, like I said to you earlier when I was speaking to obviously Bushy and Fez, that people have to meet up now in a place. So word on the street is one of the best things because that means you have loads of different contacts in different places who might pick up on stuff. So that is now really strong, and you can get that as just a box standard criminal gang thing for 50 grand, dead cheap. Protect infrastructure, intimidation, all this stuff is going to be a lot better in season 2. But some of this is very expensive, and the reason it's expensive is because obviously we can't have everything cheap. You gotta have to have this tough decision where your money is going to go, because season 2 you will make more money. Most franchises now will make 3 figures each week. What wasn't the case in in season 1, and that's because obviously the new staffing we've got involved. So you're going to get more money this season. People got more add-ons. People like Squiggy's got the Squig Head where he might invest more and make more money that way as well. So, things have to go up. And like I said, that could be an interesting one now, Criminal Gangs Update, because a lot of things like kidnapping at a CEO and stuff like that, you need the criminal gangs to be able to do that. So, that becomes very important this season. Stadium upgrades for season 2. People wanted to be able to upgrade the stadium. So your stadium levels are here. So level 1, everyone gets a level 1 stadium. And then here's your levels to going up. And here are your things. Now, there's no cost to these. If you're level 2, you pick 2. If you're level 1, like all you will be, you all can pick one of these free of charge. So if you want stadium security, that's fine. Like I say, if someone's got the hooligans already and already smashed up someone's stadium, this stops that to a certain extent. So hooligans, that's one of the few things I haven't fleshed out, but I will flesh out before the season starts, and that's going to be really fun for anyone who wants to trash places to go to. So again, I'm not going to talk too much into this because I know we've been on for a while already, but that's your stadium upgrades you was all after. Now, here's an interesting one for you both. Bank transfer add-on. This has changed. So, anyone who has the bank already, you don't pay this 200 grand. This is a lot of money now. 200 grand. It used to be 50 grand if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was cheap.
Yeah. Your yearly bill is 50,000, so you're still paying for that, and you can, if you wish, take 100,000 insurance. Now, the insurance means if someone by some miracle breaks into the bank and steals money, you will not lose any of your money because it'll be insured. If you're not insured and someone breaks, there's dice rolls, and it could be your money to steal. Anyway.
Oof.
And that comes from your franchise. If you have the bank add-on, the money gets taken from your franchise balance. So yeah. So obviously bank levels now. There's 5 bank levels. Level 1 is what you get from the start. So anyone's got a bank transfer now, you've got level 1. You pay 250 grand for level 2. Now you must pay for level 2 before you get to level 3. So if you want level 3, it'll cost you 750 grand. It will cost you 500. You have to buy level 2, then buy level 3, then buy level 4. So it goes up. It's a bit more expensive. We said about insurance, right? So money transfers. So there's your level 1. End of league season, level 2. So now, as well as transfer money once a season, the regular season, you can now transfer at the end of the league part of the season as well. Playoffs transfer. Once in the playoffs, you may make a game money transfer as well. So a lot of times you can take money out, more often. You think, well, Bernie, why do I want to take out all the time? Well, it's because of this. Every time you transfer money now from your in-game bank into your franchise, you get an interest rate. So if you're a level 3 and you transfer 200k, you get 60k added because it's 30%. If it's 10%, you get 20k added. So you can actually make a lot more money by transferring from in-game into your franchise. So you can make money by doing that. So that's been fleshed out. It's a simple thing, really. But the more you pay level wise, the more money you get. But there is obviously now a bit of a risk if you do take insurance that you could lose money. Anything you want to say about that, Fez? Or...
Oh, I like the sound of that. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. I have that bank transfer add-on, I believe. So, and I actually don't know if I've even used it, but that makes it sound much more appealing. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, like I said, it's going to make you money. Everyone's like, if you transfer 200 grand, sorry, and you're level 3, that's 60 grand. If it's level 5, I mean, no one's going to have level 5 yet, but if that's level 5, that's crazy money. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what is it, 50%? So you made 100 grand by just transferring money. So eventually it'll pay itself off.
This season, I think because it was quite cheap, I have benefited from the bank transfer. But yeah, I think it probably did need a few adjustments, a few tweaks on it. So no, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, and it's simple. And then again, to those people who don't want to do much in roleplay or don't want to do money the add-ons, this is quite an easy one because this basically just looked after itself, doesn't it? You pay the money and it's done. When you transfer money, I do all the work, or Hellham will do all the work and we'll add the money for you. And this is a really good way of making money, I think, personally. Could be also used to track status of staff. you'd have to explain to me more into that. Might be smart to have D&D style character sheet to track everything. Yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of franchises do track. They have their own spreadsheets of money. So if there's a few times when we both look though something's missing, we've been able to go back and find it. So I always recommend everyone to have their own franchise sheets, definitely. So yeah, that's that one. Right. Oh god, here we go. This might piss a few people off, but here we go. Bodyguards. The add-on has changed. And the reason the add-on's changed is because this is one of the things what really hurt my head, because I was trying to figure out who's going where, who's marking who, and then people were changing who was marking to somebody else, and I was like, oh my god, who's protecting who now? So what we've done is I've completely changed it. Bodyguard ranks have changed. Bodyguard is now in ranks. So you have rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4, rank 5. So for each rank you get a skill, and that skill covers all your bodyguards, and it's as simple as that. And basically what happens is you have a team of bodyguards and they basically protect all your assets now. So there's none of, oh well, this person's tracking him and this person's protecting him and all that stuff. Now it's simply you get whatever. Obviously a higher rank means they've got more skills, mean that they've got a better chance to protect people. So they're going to protect seers, they're going to protect owners, they're going to protect mascots to a certain extent, they're going to protect everybody. You know, your CEOs, your owners, you know what I mean. So I've tried to make it a lot easier. You can still add fluff. You can still do stories of your mascots, your bodyguards and stuff like that, and you can tell me who's head of your bodyguard team and stuff like that. But this was a really confusing thing in season 1, and sometimes I was like, who's where, you know. And I thought it was and even with the new system got for season 2, this was still an issue. So now, being able to know, oh right, Bushy's got a level 3 rank thing, this is what they've got, no problem, easy as that. So to me, I think I think it's easy for everybody, because there's been times where I've had people saying, Kevin, who's he bodyguarding again? And then, because sometimes people are changing who they're protecting, and then they can't remember who's protecting who. So, it's just like that. And like I said, we can, if someone's getting attacked or thingy, you can tell me. I'll say, right, this has happened. You've stopped it, or something bad's happened, and you can give me the bodyguard you want, so we can do the story with that guy with fluff or whatever. So you can still do the fluff aspect. It's just, to me, this is so much easier. For me, definitely for me, and I think for you guys as well. Not having to worry who's marking who, and paying all this money, saying, oh well, I've got to pay 200 for this one, 150 for that guy. Which one's level 3 again? Which one's level 2 again? And to me, this just makes it so much more streamlined, so much more easier. And, this is what we're going to go with, and I think everyone will be happy eventually. Do you agree with that, Fez?
Yeah, it sounds much easier, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. I think, it's going to be... I'm trying to think of things what are going to be like easy for me as well, and just make him much more cleaner, and I think that will be a lot better. Personally prefer that, having struggled to time myself trying to, yeah, exactly, and this is something else. See, when people give me ideas, I speak to almost majority of you via DM, and things you like, things you don't like, and we have these discussions. And like I say, one of the things was sometimes they don't know who's who, and sometimes even I don't. I have to go back and scroll through loads of messages. So I do believe this is gonna be a lot better for us. Right, we did say about the Frankenstein. We did sort of like give you sneaky pictures of it. Anyone who played Blitz will probably realise a bit of this. But basically, how does it work? You basically pay the fee, and you can pay for boosters, which gives you a much better chance of getting what you want. So it costs 150 grand for a basic attempt, and basically, you can buy boosters, and what it does is we roll some dice. So for instance, I don't know, let's say, I'm trying to think of let's say Dark Elves. So Dark Elves, we roll dice. The first dice we'll roll probably is what position. Oh, it's a 3, it's a blitzer. We then roll 1 dice to see what level it is. If we roll a 1, there's been a disaster, and it tends to goo, and you lose the player and the money. A 1 is always a fail on that, obviously, respect. But let's just say we roll a 4. Oh, it's level 4. And then we roll to see what skill brackets it's gone for. It could roll stats, and then you can pick a stat, or you could roll a 2 or maybe agility skill, and then you choose the skills. So say it's level 4, you've rolled 2 general skills, 2 agility skills. You then can choose what skills you want and create that player, if that makes sense. You can buy one of these things, but they're very expensive. The 300 million and $250,000 a year costs to run them, plus other stuff. They are expensive. I don't expect anyone to buy one, but if people want it, they can, but they're going to have to sell the grandmother for it, at least. I'm not going to go too much into it, but it's all on there. Like I say, you've got a stat injection, guarantees your first roll will be a stat up, so if you're desperate for a stat up. And usually stat ups are random, but I think this one lets you decide what stat up is, I think. Yeah, so you can choose which stat up. So usually if you roll a d6 and you get a stat up, we then roll to see what stat up you get. If you get the stat injection, not only does it guarantee you get a stat up, you can pick which stat up you want. So if you want a guaranteed strength 4 witch elf, you can get that. Like I said, there's other things as well. You just need to read it. But this is another way of creating. And the thing is, if you get a level 7 character, then it doesn't count towards the golden generation players. So you could end up with potentially 4. So that is that. It's a lot of fluff in there. There's a bit of risk in there because if you roll a 1, then obviously there's that risk if you could lose 150 grand. But what do you think, Fez? I mean, I am probably giving the justice it deserves, but like I do know we're running on time, and I also know people can actually read the documents when I take them out.
I'm here. I'm back.
He's back. He didn't read it. He didn't listen to any of that, did he? Didn't listen to any of that at all. I bet Bushy didn't even bloody thingy. So
she's long gone.
He's long gone.
But no. I'm glad that one is so expensive because that sounds quite powerful to me.
Yeah, and there's restrictions. I think you can do it to 5. You can have a maximum of 5 goes. But you still pay. It is expensive. It is very expensive to use, and like I say, it can be quite powerful if you have it. Obviously, I will monitor this because I was tempted. Do I give it an add-on? Do I not? But I just thought, you know what? I'm going to do it as an add-on because it could be quite cool role playing. But it is a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah, but I assume if one person owns this, then other people can go to them and say,
no,
"I want this and that."
They can't.
Oh, can you not?
No.
It has to be for yourself.
Yeah,
okay,
it has to be for yourself. Because the Scott Jefferson, he owns the patent for it, and if people buy it off him, the agreement is they can only do it for themselves. They can't go around.
They're just licensing it off him.
You
Yeah,
can make money that way. So even when you create these players, you're still costing you quite a bit of money to use it. So I have thought of that because we can't be having that sort of like, I don't know, where you can make people pay you for it. That would make it even more OP. So yeah, that's definitely going to happen.
All right.
So
fair enough.
I don't know what's going on there. I just had to close Twitch a minute then. Right. So right, here we go then. Intelligence centers. Guess what? Detectives are no more. We don't have a detective center anymore. Dun dun dun. Good news though is if you did buy the detective add-on, you can either A, get a refund, or if you're smart, you will keep it, because otherwise you're going to be paying $500,000 to get this. $500,000. And why is that? Because it's an intelligence center. It is taken over. As you can see, if you look at the prices, rank 5 is 3 million. But it's not, because if you want rank 5, that's going to cost you 8 million, I think, overall. Now, before people say, well, Bernie, nobody can afford 8 million. Well, no, you're not. You're not supposed to get rank 5 until you've invested over seasons. I'm not giving you these things for free. You've got to earn it. And as you can see, so when you rank the only rank 1 thing you can get is detective. Now, as you can see, there's no cost. So when you pay that 500,000, or if you already had the detective add-on, this is what you get. You get the detectives. And they, again, with all the role-playing going on, that is going to be important. If you're rank 2, you've got a stakeout. So obviously they can stake out certain places, get loads of information. You might be staking out Bushy, but guess what? You might see, I don't know, Scooby and Kanawa doing something, and they might be able to give information on that. So this could be quite powerful. The other rank 2 is this one. And this is interesting because obviously we've got the spawns to a certain extent. These guys go through the other players' franchise accounts and can tell you how much money they spent the previous round and any add-ons they have bought. This add-on is a very good source of information. So basically, let's just say, I don't know, Bushy Bubba's, I don't know, a counterintelligence this round. You will know he's bought that. So you will know that that franchise has a counterintelligence, and that's massive. Can this be stopped? Yes, it can. It can be stopped, but it's hard to stop it, and I will go into that when we go into counterintelligence. Now here's my favourite. Spy. Rank 3. You can drop spies into franchises now, and they will sit in that franchise, and any information could potentially come back to you. This is huge. These are very interesting. So, for instance, there's a lot of you been pointing fingers. Let's just say, for instance, Bezo, he felt he was getting absolutely thinged. So let's just think Bezo thinks, no, I think Bushy's, he had it in for me. Sends a spy in there. He'll soon probably find out. And the longer you keep your spy in that franchise, the more information they'll find out. So they might not have found out in round 1. They might not have found out in round 2. But by round 3, they might find a lot of stuff. So you know when I'm trying to like in season 2, trying to make you all paranoid. You're welcome. Here we go. The spy is. I just love the spy. If I was playing with it, I would be putting all my money to spy. The only thing what puts me off is like, God, I want counterintelligence as well. Which one can I afford? Can I afford both of them? I don't really care about what I've got on the pitch. I think if you're goblins and stuff like that, you know what, you've got low TV and you don't spend much money off on the field. I think this is amazing. I think Kanao will like this because he likes all his intelligence. And this next one, the Divinist rank 4, it's pretty weird. Basically, you've got someone who can summon demons and stuff like that, and they can help you if you get attacked or anything like that. So if someone's trying to attack you and you don't have a criminal gang, you summon some demons. It's just it's just mental. But they're quite rare. You've got to be rank 4 for that. And I said there's some rules in here as well. Now, if you're rank 3, that means you can send 3 detectives out, or you can send a detective out, 2 stakeouts out. Or if you've got a spy, you can take 3 spies out. 1 spy, 1 detective, whatever. When you send detectives and spies out, they cost you no money. Like we know before, it cost you maybe 50 grand or 100 grand for missions. It costs you nothing now.
Each use. Yeah.
You don't. There's none of that anymore. It's very clean. Soon as you pay this add-on, and people say, God, it costs 1 million for rank 2. Yeah, but what you got to remember is, after you paid that 1 million, all this is free. That means 2 times or 2 goes around, you can send some stuff out. You can send 2 detectives off. You can take 2 stakeouts off, and then you might be able to sell the money, sell the information to people as well, or you might be able to prove people who've set you up. Well, it won't me, and we can prove it. So again, it's all going into the role play sort of thing of it all. Personally, I love my spies. I'm not going to lie. I think spies and financial specialists are both very, very big. But yeah, I've fleshed out detectives into intelligence. Please tell me Sonny Bill's not dead, or some fan in his
No, that was his Minotaur dying.
Who's Minotaur? Bushes.
Bushies.
Yeah, Sonny's still alive.
Use the Apo and it's not saved him. He's gonna have to take a minus agility. I'm not having minus strength. Goodness me.
Well, if you had the Chopper's insurance as your sponsor, that could have been saved. Anyway, so that's the intelligence center. What do you think about the intelligence center? Any better than just having detectives? Fairs?
Sounds a bit more straightforward without having to pay for each thing, and yeah, sounds quite impactful. I like the way that you'll have to build it up over several seasons.
Yeah, that's basically it. I've seen the finances of a few of these franchises, and if they really wanted to, some of them could get to like maybe rank 3, but they wouldn't have much left, and they won't be able to get any sort of add-ons. Like I say, you can have the refund for the detectives if you want, or you can just save yourself probably 400 to 450 grand and just take the rank 1. So, like I said, what I'm trying to do is people who took maybe add-ons in season 1 and they didn't really get the money's worth. Well, if you took detectives season 1, you've just saved yourself 450 grand for an intelligence center. So I've tried to like say, hey, look, you can have the money back, but as a thank you and a sorry, you can have this and save yourself like almost 500,000. Right, shall we have a look at counterintelligence? We've seen intelligence, so what does counterintelligence? Again, the money's just quite expensive again. There's your ranks. Quite a lot of money. It's not cheap. Right, so again, rank 1 you get the Sentinels.
This is all only available from season 2 onwards, I assume, by the way,
yes,
Bernie.
Yes, you cannot get anything now from season 1. We've done these playoffs now. We're not really doing anything. It's all about season 2 now. So the Sentinels are very mystical, like guardians, and they actually, if you read into it, they can actually spot spars as well. They're not as good as the spar hunters, but they can sometimes, catch them and spot them. They protect all your. They're like a security blanket. They protect all your assets. So they basically do their best to look after. Like, say for instance, Squeaky's got a squeak yard. The Sentinels will protect the squeak yard, and only through a massive effort could they maybe lose something. But more likely it's going to be safe because they've got Sentinels there. So that's a good thing. Spy hunters, I love rank 2. They're basically, if you've got spy hunters, they're in your franchise trying to hunt out other spies. So you've got that sort of, like little dance going about. So best way to make sure that you won't got any spies in your franchise is to get a spy hunter. The interrogation chamber is, if you catch a spy, this interrogation chamber will tell you who sent him, what the mission was, and all that stuff, so you can get massive amount of information. If you don't have an interrogation chamber, you can catch the spy. He won't tell you anything, and you'll go back to his master, and you will. The only good bonus is guess what? You've stopped that spy from coming into your franchise. And if you catch a spy, they cannot return for that season. So there's that bonus. The Archive of Shadows. Basically, all your information is stored on magical orbs. So when we said about that thing about the financial thing in the intelligence where they can read how much you've spent, they can tell what the last thing you've bought and stuff like that. If you've got this, they don't know. They can't read it because it's on a magical thing. It's not on any sort of paperwork. So this blocks that skill. So there's that.
Strov.
Add-ons. I can't be. Let's try and remember this one is now. Yeah, so this is basically you put like wards and magical wards on certain things. Like when Bushy claims that he didn't kidnap Vanessa and sling her in his freezer. Well, if his restaurant had these magic wards and somebody else come in and did that, it would go. The alarms would go off. If you had any sentinels or anything, they'd rush to the place, and there'd be camera footage and everything there. And obviously, they would have saved Vanessa, and he would be able to prove his innocence. These are very powerful, but again, you've got to decide what you're taking. And then the final one, and this is rank 5, so this is the highest rank. The mirror can tell you if the information you have received is the truth or is a lie. So if Bushy turns around and says, I think Kanao is going to betray you, if you have the mirror will tell you if he's telling you the truth or not. And if the mirror says, yes, Bushy is telling the truth, all of a sudden Scooby's like, oh, fuck, Kanao was going to stab me in the back. This is so powerful. It's going to cost you how much money? 5, 6.5, 7.5, 8 million. 8 million to get to that. So, but whoever has that is a massive. Can you imagine? The thing is, I'm probably going to put on it because it's so powerful and uses so much energy. Might be able to maybe use it 3 times a season or something like that. We'll see. I don't have to put any extra things on that because no one has 8 million. So I know this isn't going to be used for this season and probably not next season. But this is what you're working your way up to. Imagine having a mirror what tells you if people are telling you the truth or not. That is so good. That is just such a good thing to have. So that's counterintelligence. To counter the intelligence. And again, it's I like the spy hunters. I'm not gonna lie, I love the spy hunters in this. Fez, any thoughts, or Bushy? I know Bushy's still mourning of his mana, but
I don't think he's going to be mourning too much with the way the rest of the game's going. Actually, I am spying on Bushy's game right now as it happens, but that's the only kind of spying we do in the Clean Play Society. We just watch Blood Bowl, so not sounds good, and I'd like to think that the rest of the league has enough respect for me that they won't be putting spies and all these terrible things into my home, so I think I'll be all right.
well, we'll see, I guess.
I like the spies. I think it's good. I think it's cool. I like it.
Yeah, I think and like I said in season 2, I want loads of stuff going on. And obviously I've got Hellhammer with me as well. But with the structure of everything we've got, so we hopefully won't miss anything. It's just a better records I've got in there, and a lot of this stuff's a lot easier. Like I said, now with detectives and bodyguards and all that, a lot of that is just thrown away now. I don't need to worry about this, and I'm not saying, oh, well, that detective job might cost 80 grand instead of 50 and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So, but what's Scuba saying there? Mirror, now that I've been able to afford you, I think everyone is coming to get me. Is that true? Mirror, hell yes. But again, I just think, oh god, it's treasure hunting time. This is the pressure. Oh, hyperventilate. Are you all ready for the treasure hunter? I have bigged this up a bit, haven't I?
Here we go. I'm looking forward to this.
Oh no, what if I've lied to you all? What if I've lied to you all? Alright, anyway, this is big. This is the most complex thing I have got. It's not finished, but it's almost there. But let's go through it. This is different parts. So we'll start with the first bit. So treasure hunting is now 250 grand. So it's a $250,000. But anyone who took treasure hunting in season 1, you're welcome. Now there is a 100 grand season charge. Unfortunately, that's to pay for all the air miles. Well, not the air miles. We're in medieval times, are we? All the fuel and all the normal mundane stuff they need. So level 1 is including the add-on cost. Then it's level 2, level 3, level 5. Now, whatever rank you are, that's how many hunters you have. So if you're level 2, you have 2 hunters, and you can send 2 hunters out each round. If you're level 4, you can send 4 hunters out each round. Now, if all 4 hunters go to the same island, then there's just one cost, because they all go together. If you send 2 hunters to one island, 2 to the other, then it's double the cost, because obviously, common sense. Right, so what are they going for? So they're after ingredients. There's relics, there's gold. There's so many different types of ingredients you're trying to find. There's also going to be mission areas, what will be at least one a season, maybe more. Obviously, there is danger and they can be killed, unfortunately, but then you'd be just replaced for another one. So it's not a problem. You have hunter skills, they're all here, and they all give you. Basically, you do pay for these, though. Treasure hunting is a very expensive business because it is a very lucrative business. Very lucrative indeed. So in the old there, so it's level 2, the hunter is very good at getting the most out of it. So he will get extra ingredients or extra stuff if he finds it. Aware is more likely to stop you from being murdered and stuff like that because you're looking for more dangers. Gyrocopter. Anyone who knows dwarfs, gyrocopters, anyone know what they are? Well, certain islands you can only get there by flight. And obviously the only thing what possibly flies these days in good old Stunsville is gyrocopters. So if he's a pilot, he can fly one. Ex-Special Forces, obviously, again, that means that it's some I think there's a jungle and it's very deadly. So having an Ex-Special Forces treasure hunter makes you have a much better chance of surviving. And then you got Fate of the Gods as well. So there's various things to have a look at. Disciplined. Hunters can only have a maximum of 3 skills. So say for instance, I don't want to use Vanessa. God, Nescaf. Let's call treasure hunter Nescaf. She's got three. You buy your 3 skills. She dies. You get a level 1 treasure hunter back for free, but you lose the skills. If that makes sense. So it can be quite expensive.
That's pretty fair.
Yeah, it's fair though, isn't it? Building items with ingredients and food. So basically, what you're going to do, you're going to go to these islands. You're going to find and scavenge for ingredients, metals, or I don't know, little pieces or whatever. And then what you can do, you can bring them back, put them in your vault, and then obviously you can go to the Twisted Vial and the Blueprint Exchange, what we've now called it something else, haven't we? And then you You buy the blueprints, and as long as you've got the ingredients, you'll build the item. Now, these items give you various benefits. You can either use them on your players, or use them to clear things like MNGs or whatever, or you can sell them on the auction and make a lot of money. It is going to be extremely fun, and if I go to the islands, these are the islands for Season 2. So you've got the Saharan Island. It gives you the travel cost, so it's going to cost you 50,000. So if you've got 4 hunters and all 4 hunters are going to here, it'll only cost you 50 grand. It will cost you 4 times 50, just cost you 1. It'll give you a danger rating, and it also gives you a percentage of what you can find there. It also sometimes gives you the danger, so the sirens. Everyone knows what the sirens are, like mermaids and all that sort of stuff. And there's also a pro tip as well. So creating or acquiring a siren catcher necklace will stop almost all attempts to seduce your hunter. So that's something you can build if you get the right ingredients. The Isle of Avalon. I think this is the safest one to go if you're a newbie or you just want to be safe. They do a lot of healing stuff, and obviously the lady. And obviously you get to meet King Bernie. King Bernie is a lovely, like the Green Knight and Excalibur Knight when he has the sword Nufflebur. Was forged and where he was taken to be healed after the Battle of Bad Dice, where he was struck down and the lady saved him. It tells you stuff like I say there. There's the dangers. Basically, I think you have to go to this island. You have to pledge your allegiance to the lady. If you don't, you would probably end up dead. Again, you get pro tips for that one. The Isle of the Blessed, and they all have different certain islands you have to go to get certain ingredients. Like say, for instance, one ingredient could only be found on one island. But this one here, you need a gyrocopter. You can't get to this island unless you've got a gyrocopter. Otherwise, you just can't. But if you have a gyrocopter, you don't pay any travel costs because you're using your own transport. And that 100 grand covers the sort of the fuel and all that crap. And like I said, it's not very dangerous there, and there's a good chance of getting a magical artifact there as well, 25%. You've got Dragon Tooth Island as well. Again, just pro tips. There's all sorts of different things, and they all give you different things you can find there. Serpent's Rest is very deadly, extremely deadly. But it has a lot of the rare stuff. It does Serpent's Isle. I'll give you that as a tip already. It's got a lot of it. Pro tip, good in numbers helps us survival chances, but also could see the full team wiped. Yes, your full team could be wiped, but if you've got 1 or 2 special forces in there, you're more than likely maybe to survive. It is very deadly. It's a danger rate of 9 out of 10 as well, but it has a very, very good chance to find rare items. So, there's that. There's the Shadow Isles as well. That's like a boggy marshland. The Aware add-on is very useful because obviously there's like quick stand, and I think there's violent thunderstorms and stuff like that as well. So there's all these islands, and this is where you can go to, and like I said, certain ingredients, as I'm going to go to now. So you basically Arendelle, that's an ingredient, and you can only find that on one of the islands. Phantomite is another one you can only find on one of the islands. You've got to figure out which island, like Mermaid here. Mermaids, it can only be found on one island, but if you think of what's on what island, you'll probably guess which island to go to. Moonshine petals only bloom under full moons, and these are all different ingredients you can find. There is ingredients you can find islands, but I am put down here. You then make them into metals. And these are the metals you make, and it tells you what you need. So you need moonshade petals to have 5. So if you get 5 petals, you need 5 petals to go into moonsteel. It's quite simple, really. And then there's parts as well, like Dragonbone shards, copper gear wheels. There's these things you can find on either in shops you can buy or on islands as well. Like I said, I've got little clicks there, so you can go onto the island and have a look in there, and your treasure hunt and quests are there as well. So you'll have all the clinks on there. But to build the items, you need the blueprint, and you obviously buy that from the blueprint shop. So I've just put a few on here for now. So the Mirror Cloak of the Chameleon, 1 use only. So spies can wear this to infiltrate franchises and are almost impossible to detect. Even if they are detected, they can soon disappear. So if the other guys have got a spy hunter, and if they actually find him, this will make him escape. And that is big if they've got a torture chamber, because if they catch him, he has to give up who sent him. So this is quite good for that. So 1 use only though.
Hang on, who said anything about torture? I thought it was interrogation.
Interrogation, torture, depends who you want. Valor recovery. So if these things, and obviously the ingredients here, this tells you what you need to make it. So Valor recovery, you need Phantomite and Phoenix feathers. An injured player can drink this potion after their MNG status cleared. So if he's missing next game and you need him, he drinks this potion and he's cleared. Lantern of Whisperwood is a necklace that when it senses danger glows bright to one its owner. So if you put this on like on a treasure hunter, they're more than likely to live because it warns them. A bit like Spider Sense, I guess. Serpent Scales, I think. So this is a cut of armor. You build it and you give it to one of your players. So long as they're not level 7, let's just say I know they're level 5, level 6. You give them it and it adds +1 to their AV. So if you've got a War Dancer who's at AV7 and you give them the Serpent skill, they're now AV8. If that makes sense. There's going to be tons more blueprints coming out. And there's going to be ones you can only find on islands, like the Serpent, what are rare. You can't buy them in the shops or anything. So there's so much going to go on if you're going to be a treasure hunter. But to build it, you need your own forge. And again, they don't come cheap, are they? $250,000 to get your own forge. Seasonal cost of 100 grand. This covers the metals what aren't rare to go with the metals you make. And again, what the rank does is for every rank you've got means you can build extra items. So if you're rank 1, you can build 1 item per round. If you're rank 2, you can build 2 items per round. If you're mythical rank, what's rank 6, you can build as many fucking things as you want. So that is treasure hunting, and I'm pretty excited about this. And I know a few people who do have the treasure hunting thing. They've wanted to do something like this, and I've gone to great lengths to do this. And I think, going to the shop every round, see if there's new blueprints out, and the excitement you might get if you found a rare blueprint but only you have. Or if you think, oh, it's a rare blueprint but I don't want it, you can put it on the auction house. It can make you a lot of money. So it is costing you a lot of money, but you can sell stuff on the auction. And trust me, some of the franchises will pay for them. And if they don't sell, you can also sell them to, obviously, I can't remember what they're called, the bloody shop now. What was it called? Where is it? The Looted Lion. So you can always go there and you can sell it to them as well. So that is the treasure hunter thing, and I think I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be really, really good. Obviously in my brain I've got so much stuff for this, and like I said, there's going to be a lot of stuff you can build. And like I said, when people on about like intelligence sort of stuff and that, when they said, oh well, can this be blocked, and I said, well, kind of can, but it's going to be something really tough. There's probably going to be a blueprint out there or a secret item you can get what will be able to protect you from that. So treasure hunting is going to be fun. You will have to invest quite a bit of time in it though. I ain't gonna lie, because as it is, you're gonna have to go to the islands, get the stuff you need, and when you go to an island, you'll learn what ingredients the island has and what you can get there. So then you've got your own little spreadsheet and you can put, all right, if I want, I don't know, Phantomite, it's at this island, but it's not found anywhere else, so you know which island to go. So it's all about discovery, and it's all about learning as you go along. And the people who I think treasure hunting is going to be fun regardless, but the people who nail this, they will be a very powerful franchise. And the role playing potential on this is just off the scale, completely off the scale. And there's one thing I forgot to tell you, and I haven't put it in there, and I wasn't sure if I should tell you or not, but I think it's only fair I do. Let's just say Bushy. He's got Vanessa, but let's just say Bushy. He's like, you know what? I'll just go back to the islands. Where's the islands again? So I'll make sure I'm not making any. He's like, you know what? I'm going to go to the Serpent's Rest. Or he might have been given information about a certain item, what's only going to be there for that round. So he sends Anna 3 treasure hunters. The only problem is, Cushy, he also has treasure hunters, and he's also been told the same thing. So he sends his treasure hunters there. And if that wasn't bad enough, Bushy also had the same information, and he's been sent them there. Then you've got 3 teams fighting out for the same stuff. And, anything could happen. Or did someone like, I don't know, who can we think of, Kanawa, just lie to him and say, you know what, guys, I've been told by my people that this is a sacred thing. at Serpent's Rest. Everyone goes Serpent Rest, but actually the secret thing is actually at Dragontooth Island, and these guys have got there and pocketed it. A mirror would come in handy for that, I guess. So there's so much you can do with the treasure hunters, but you can only get involved in the treasure hunter thing is if you have the add-on. And I honestly think this will be a lot of fun. And I think the stories, and some of you guys do amazing fluff stories. I think a lot of you will go to town with this. And I think you're going to get connected to your player, your hunters, and when they do die and stuff like that, it'll be so sad. And and there is potential to take hunters hostage as well. So while they're doing missions. So I think there's a lot of potential there. But most importantly, what do you lot think? I mean, what do you think, Fez? After listening to me.
Yeah, this sounds right up my street. I like this kind of thing, so yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
Your little goblins in the little boat going to the.
Yeah, see, see, that's nice. That doesn't hurt anyone, right? Little goblin gyrocopter, yeah, flying to an island, yeah.
Yeah, and then not literally flying to an island, but but then you can get stuff and you can build it and you can give it to people, can't you? In the auction, you make a bit of money, they get the item.
Exactly.
And if a rival treasure hunter gang actually disappear, then that's not on you. You didn't have nothing to do with it.
No, of course not. We never would. No.
Teaser, yes. I think a lot of people. I think personally, if it was me and I wasn't the dungeon master, I would be all over treasure hunting. Treasure hunting, intelligence, counterintelligence, they're the three I really like. But yeah, this is. I can't. I think this is going to be huge. And I've only put a few blueprints on there now because this will take me a good, I don't know, a week worth of stuff to get it all right. I'm going to deliberately leave a few blueprints off there, like I've deliberately left a few rare ingredients and stuff off there, what you'll find. And like I said, the thing is, sometime in Season 2, there will be an event. A bit like the Hellhounds one, but it'll be for treasure hunters, and you will go and there will be rare items, but there'll only be, like, say, one of this item, and your treasure hunters, it's whoever finds it first. And I will be, obviously, messaging you in DMs and giving you choices of what, and you pick out of the choices, and obviously what you pick will decide on what you found and stuff like that. I will have like tables what I roll, d6s, d20s, d whatever on it to find out what you get as well. So there is that, there is obviously randomness of it, but at the same time you will know if you want this certain, this certain ingredient and it's only on one island, if you want it, you have to go to that island. So there's a lot of homework needs to be done. More islands will be added each season probably, and there'll be some major events going on with some of them as well. So, like I said, this is my baby. This is the one I've spent more time on than anything else, because I felt Season 1 was, I had a vision of how I wanted it, but I got it so wrong. And because I got it so wrong, I knew what I wanted for Season 2. So, yeah, you all must, and I would say to everybody, have your own spreadsheets, have your own stuff, keep track of everything. I will keep track at my side, but it's always good for you to keep track, especially with your ingredients and all that, so you know what you need. I will have it. Like I said, I have so many. Oh my god, tons and tons of spreadsheets and documents.
I'll tell you what, Bernie. Here's an idea. How, like, someone was mentioning character sheets earlier. Like, a character sheet is, like it's like a form that you fill out, right, with all your characters' details on. Maybe we should have a form that everyone fills out. The same form,
right.
And then everyone's got the same kind of, records there.
Again, if anyone's got any ideas for that, I mean, like I said, I just use spreadsheets and documents, and I type it all up on there. Like I said, anyone can do what they want. I mean, if people got character sheets, that's great. I think you probably have to find some sort of temples, and that'd be quite easy. Like, for a character sheet, your treasure hunter, his name, her name, the skills, and all that. And it doesn't have to be human. It could be a lizard fucking treasure hunter. It could be, I don't know, a dark elf treasure hunter. You can, again, your imagination is your only barrier. And I'm sure if you've got a bit of like man block, you could ask people, and they might be able to give you ideas as well. And there will be awards at the end of the season for treasure hunters as well, and for things like best stories and best fans and who made the most from treasure hunting and all that. There's going to be a lot of stuff there as well. So like I said, treasure hunting to me, it's the one I'm looking forward to, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think counterintelligence and intelligence is going to be a lot of fun, especially if people get spars. I think that's going to be hilarious. Like say, with your criminal gangs now, we wear it on the street and stuff like that. That's very big now as well. I think that'll be very, very, powerful. So, like I said, I've tried to listen to what everybody else has done in season one and try to improve on it. Like I said, you guys have to tell me if I have or not. I can only, go with what I've got, and I'm hoping people will enjoy it. Um, I'm just trying to read what people are saying.
There actually is no word for kamikaze in Goblin, just to answer Squig's question. I think the closest would be Daka Daka Daka.
Yeah. I don't know. But my dogs are barking as I do. The only thing I forgot to ask, as my dogs keep barking, is there's an end of season award after the playoffs. We've also got the wedding, as we were talking about earlier. I don't know if we talked about that when people couldn't hear me, but there is obviously the wedding of Sonny, Bill, and Vanessa. That story, I will be DMing a few people who wanted to get involved. Some of them already are involved, but I'll be giving them more information. I will be asking you all again to confirm who's going to this wedding, if they are, because I'm going to be ramping that up now, because we've got to get the wedding thing, and the wedding will be revealed as a story in end of season. Might be after the finals, and I don't know if I'm going to put in chapters and make you all that suspense or not. And that story will have everything in it, so everything I've talked to you a lot about, all your decisions, whether right or wrong. It may even show who the alligator crew is. They may also reveal the golden trout killer. We'll also find out what happened to Sonny and Vanessa. Apparently, there's going to be a lot of shenanigans. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so I can't wait for the wedding. It's going to be exciting. The other thing I will tell you is we're going to have the end of season awards. So the best created player. I think Pink Torpedo and Sonny Bill. It might be between them two. But there's a few other ones. Like there's an award called, what was it? Was it the Snake? Something like that, or the Serpent, and it goes to the person who's backstabbed more people than anybody else. So you're going to find out.
That's going to be revealing.
Wow.
And now I don't know who that is. I have a guess who I think it is, but I can't 100% sure. There's
Is it the person who's been quiet this whole time and got away with that?
I think it could be. I've got a feeling that everyone's looking at Scooby now. I think it could be. But then there's going to be people. There's an award for Mr. Clean, and there's an award for Mr. Unlucky, where people have blamed him and actually he's done nothing. So there's going to be a lot of revealing. There's Mr. Moneybags, who's got the most money. Mr. Add-on, who has the most add-ons. You don't know what add-ons they've got, but it tells it. And then there's like Mr. Poor, who's got the least money. So there's going to be loads of awards where you'll make them, so people will know what you've got, but you will get a gold reward for it. So I think it's something like 500,000 reward for the Snake, because obviously I'm really seriously putting him out there, but he gets 500,000 and says, sorry mate, I hope this helps, sort of thing. So you get rewarded for backstabbing, I guess. There's also like a true friend out there, so if there's a true friend out there, they will be revealed, so you think, oh, you know what a nice guy, and maybe you could use that to backstab people in the next season. So we've got all them to come as well. There's things like most touchdowns and all that stuff as well. So there's the normal ones and team things, and each one will give you a bit of money. So we'll have a big thing on that. I'm trying to think if there's one more thing. Also, there's a thing at the end of the season. We're gonna have what do they call it? Like a mastermind. Do you remember mastermind? Anybody? Where they'd sit in a
quiz.
chair. Yeah, it's a quiz. Now, anyone who's watched Stunts and Skulls and various other things I've done in before, we have a quiz like that. There might be 10 questions, and you all buzz in with your own buzzer. And your buzzer's usually just a word or something like that. And whoever gets the most right will win a very good prize. So people will want to, and that'll be done on a stream. It'll just be crazy, and all the questions will be about all sorts of stuff to do with Twisted Destiny. They usually are quite funny, and it's just a complete carnage. And obviously, anyone who joins will get a financial reward, and whoever wins it will get a choice of whichever add-on he wants. Just about, I think it's either that or it's going to be one of the rare ones like the super merchandise or the squig thing. So I'll have to decide. So I've got all that planned. So trying to get you all involved, and obviously we're going to do the 2-week show. It'd probably be better on yours, Fez, but if not, I can do it. Every 2 weeks we'll go about and talk about everything about it. And yeah, any questions? I know I've not rambled on, guys, in chat, but any questions, please feel free to say it now. Registration will open. When will that open? Maybe tomorrow when I get back from work. Bears are in it. I don't know what that's about. For it. How does one start? Teaser. What I'll do, I'll probably, well, I'll always help you anyway, but I think we'll get one of the mentors to mentor you in season 2, and they will go through everything with you. I will do a video next week, a beginner's video, to show you how I would do it with 3 million. I'm just trying to think of what else. The Squeak still right? The Squeak add-on is a rare add-on. At the moment, only Squeaky has it, but I am putting one of those up for a prize where you can either take the Super Merchandise Store or the Squeak thing. You can have one or the other, depending what you want to do. But I think that'll be for the Question of Destiny, what we'll be doing. I've just made that up, where everyone will come on, you'll all have buzzers, I'll ask you a question, and whoever answers the most right will win it. It's going to be carnage. What about the Grok add-on? The Grok add-on, that is something I'm working on at the moment. I'm trying to tie that into treasure hunting. That's going to go down well, isn't it? The Groks can be only found on certain islands, and the only way you get them, guess what, is to either be a treasure hunter and go and get them, or when the treasure hunter brings them back and puts them in Oaken, you can buy them. So again, things linked together. And obviously don't forget, criminal gangs, if you've got a restaurant, you can get a discount as well, don't forget. So I'm trying to link things together, if that makes sense. Now, I appreciate you can't buy everything all at once, but obviously you've got to have tough decisions to make, obviously, and this is what it's all about. So yeah, or you can steal it. Yeah, if you want to steal it, just hope they don't have any sentinels. Did you discuss the Squig add-on? Yeah. Like I said, the Squig add-on is still the same, Squiggy. It's still the same. You've got it. There's potential, maybe one more Squig thing going on. So there might be 2 of them in there, but it's a very rare add-on. It's down in my rules as a rare add-on. So things like that are very hard to get. You only get them via like you got it, or some sort of big prize for a big competition I'm doing. Not being able to buy everything is great. I can imagine corporations and coalitions for me. Yeah, again, that's. I'm glad you brought that up, Squiggy. That's something I'm looking at coalitions and trying to find some sort of ruling on that. I think the thing I'm worried about is I want to do something like that, but I don't want it being abused. So that's the thing I'm worried about, because we did the with the restaurants with the if you send one of your players and I'll send one of them players, you was getting paid a lot of money for them players going there, what was fine, but Pillars was sending them for cut deals, like really cheap. So I had to bang that on the head. So coalition wise, I'm looking into that. I haven't got it right yet. Will it come in season 2? It's a 50-50. Will it come in season 3? 100% it will. So if it doesn't go in this season, it'll go in the next one. So we'll have to say what's ridiculous. Frank will have to tell me what. But yeah, teaser, you're gonna love it, mate. Like I said, there's certain coaches who've got their asses kicked on the pitch, but they've loved every minute off the pitch because they've been able to do so much fun stuff. And I think every season, when we find out what works, what doesn't, and where we can improve it, like the treasure thing, it's only going to get better. And the more people we can get, and the thing is, I suppose the thing is, we want people to join, but the right people, if that makes sense. People who want to get invested in the role player, because we found the people who weren't invested in the role player, they're the ones who left. They're the ones who wasn't, playing all the games. So I think that was quite a big thing. So what got quiet again? Me? You should have been. Fez, anything you want to say?
Just
your thoughts of season 2. What we're doing? Thoughts on season 2?
Looking forward to it. There's going to be a lot more shenanigans. I'm going to get more into the shenanigans, and everyone better help support the orphanage.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as well. With the summer over doing now, because obviously a lot of people with holidays, it's quite a busy time of the year for most people. I'm hoping now coming out of that, a lot of people who couldn't maybe invest in a role player last season will be able to this time. And I'm like I said, I'm quite interested to see how many people go for the Treasure Island add-on now. A couple of people had it last season, but like I said, it was kind of wasted because we didn't do much with it, and it was such a low percentage to find a relic because it was so powerful that nobody found one. Um, so I think this is a much better balance. There's still going to be some powerful relics out there, but you now can build and do all sorts. And like I said, I'm really excited about. I'm excited about Treasure Hunters. I'm excited about the spars, and because I think spars could be really good in this. I think the bank add-ons quite good now. And like I said, the other thing I'm interested to do as well, maybe not this season because they do cost quite a bit of money, but I can't wait to see one of these franchises trying to rob the bank or a jewelry store or something. Can you imagine robbing the bank and taking a lot of money from another franchise and they're not insured? That would be hilarious. So how was Thingy doing anyway? How's Bush? Has he won yet?
I won.
I knew you would.
Spoiler.
Thought you would. Sonny Bill all the way, mate. Oh, shock horror.
Sonny Bill scored all 3 of his touchdowns.
No, he didn't. Scored
I was so confident. I betted the Fez's Orphanage with Goblin Gambling that you'd win. That's how that's how I was.
There you go.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be double the size.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've got to say, it all seems a bit more user friendly this this season. So I think going to be much easier to get into.
I think that is one thing I looked at in season 1, especially from my side as well. Obviously, I'll have Hellhammer with me. You see, the thing is, if people say, "Oh, we'll get more admins, all this," but like I said, there's a lot of you who could be amazing at it. But the problem is then you get to see all the information, you get to see all this backstabbing, you get to see all the loyalty as well. There is a lot of loyalty out there as well. Like, we're always going about the backstabbing, but there is sort of coalitions of certain coaches who have had each other's back from day one. There's also 2 coaches who had their back, and one tried to stab the other one in the back, and then the other one tried to stab the other one in the back without either of them knowing. That was quite hilarious, and they still don't know to this day that they tried to stab each other in the back. So there's like I said, there's a lot of stuff, but if I bring people in, then do you know what I mean? They can't really play in the league, and I want you guys playing in the league because you guys, you are the league. So obviously Hammer obviously he's not having a good run with it. I know when we
is he not playing next season?
He's helping me. He's going to help me with the admin stuff. When we talked about this before, obviously season 1, and before we created it, me and Hellhammer was saying doing it together. He played in the first season, but now he's coming to my side, and between us we'll sort it out. So having him with me will help because I feel this is only going to get bigger and better. Or that's the aim. And hopefully we'll get a few more guys and girls, and they can join in the fun as well. And like I said, I think this second season, the certain coaches who I'd hoped would have been involved in season 1 will hopefully join in the season 2. And like I say, we've got, like I said to you, we've got the Stunsville, I put the town of Stunsville. So now when you talk to people, you've got to go to these places, and like I say, if they get staked out or stuff like that, then you might be thinking saying in secret, but you might not because someone might be listening in. So there's all sorts of intrigue, and I've tried to make it paranoia as best I can. If you're doing good stuff, you're not paranoid, are you? But if you're doing dodgy stuff, that's when you're going to get paranoid. And then if people found information out, they can set you up and do all sorts of stuff.
Isn't that right, Bushy?
Yeah.
What's that? Well, I'm not doing anything dodgy, thank you very much.
What you mean, except for not attending the wedding?
Yeah.
That sounds a bit paranoid.
It sounds a bit.
I'm very paranoid, mate. But
can you imagine?
I can honestly say, and I have not done anything malicious to anyone yet.
Yeah.
I can honestly say we haven't yet, and we never will.
And the thing is like, I think one thing was going back to the awards ceremony again, because like we've all been in leagues, and you're like, oh well, this person's won because they did this team let less TDs in than everybody else, and it's like, well done, and it is good. Don't get me wrong, but in Twisted Destiny, the Snake Award. Oh my god, people are wanting to know who that is, and there's going to be. The funny thing is there's going to be some coaches out there thinking, "Shit, that's me." Couldn't imagine. Let's just say I'm going to say Bushy, bless Bushy. I'm not saying this is true, but let's just say Bushy is thinking, "Oh shit, it's me. I'm going to be the snake," and then he finds out it's Fez. It's like, holy shit, I did so much bad shit, and he beat me, so he would know that. You know what I mean? So there's all that information.
Are you getting nervous, Faz?
No, it's just funny. It's just funny. Yeah.
But do you see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to mess with people's head but make it exciting and fun. And this is what this league's about. It's completely different to anything else out there, or I'd like to think that is. So, registration will open tomorrow sometime. If you're not sure what team you're going to be, just put TBC. You don't have, and then you can decide end of the season when you've got all your money and all that sort of stuff. So, last thing, any more questions before we go? Because it's now coming very late. It's almost 5 to 11.
Yeah, not from me.
I'm just checking chat now. But Bushy, what do you think? I didn't really ask you because what do you think of the changes for season 2? Anything you like?
Forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I only listened to snippets about all the various new changes, but I think I like the intelligence, counterintelligence, just from the snippets I heard. I want to see the documents, but that and the kind of spying on Pete. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that aspect because what I've took a bit of time, but I think I'm now appreciating that even if I'm not getting into some dodgy stuff, information is power, and knowing and getting to know what some people are up to is it's helpful to know.
Yeah, and that's it. I think knowledge is power. Who said that? Pink. Right. So say for instance, if you are doing any sort of deal or anything like that, you have to come to me and tell you. So if I don't know, if you've got an agreement in place or you're telling to somebody, then you must say to me. Let's say I don't know, I'm telling Bushy that I think I overheard. I don't know. Painkiller said he saw the Ned kill someone and thinks he's a trout killer. He would then have to go to one of these places and tell him. And then if you one of your franchises are staking out that place, then there's a very good chance there'll be a role, and there's a very good chance you'll overhear that conversation. You might not. Now, the funny thing is, like I say, the Stuntsville shipping docks on a night time, that might be a good place to try and maybe talk about stuff. The Market Square could be another place. I mean, there's various places you can go. I mean, obviously the most safest one is the Grey Seahorse, but then that might be the most obvious one. So it just depends. You might want to have a quick chat in the Rose and Sapphire. Who knows? You know, it's basic. You guys have got to play honest as well. You know, you guys have got to try and be as honest as you can, and say, look, this is what we're discussing, and then obviously you can do it. If you guys are going behind my back and you just saying shit and not telling me, then obviously you can do it because I won't know. But it just defies the point of the league, really, doesn't it? So I'm trusting you guys to be honest, because the more stories we can do, the better it is, isn't it? So
yeah, you can't turn it into a story if you don't know about it.
No. So basically, let's say Pink, you want to speak to Fez about something. I'll say, right, where you chatting? Which one of these buildings are you going to chat in? And between you'd say, I don't know, we want to speak in the Rose and Sapphire. Okay, that's where the conversation is. And if maybe nobody is there and it's fine, then nobody knows. Do you know what I mean? It's but let's just say, for instance, I mean, we're going way off here, but let's just say you two have a chat. Someone overhears you, but you know what? Fez has got his spy in the franchise who overheard you. That spy then comes back and says, "Do you know what, Fez? You've been rumbled. You guys have been rumbled. They overheard what you said." So then he knows that they know, and then if he wants to, he can tell you if he wants to. So, like I said, there's so much stuff what can happen, if that makes sense. We could be here all night, and obviously I'm not going to do that, but I mean, this is what I'm saying. Season 2, it's all out there. It is all out there. The stories, the role playing, everything. What I've learned from season 1 is coming in season 2, and I know a lot of you love your fluff and your stories, and some of the things I might say, look, this is what happened. If you want to write the story, you do it, and then I'll just post it. So yeah, like I said, I'm really excited for season 2. I'm just hoping the ones who invested in season 1 come back in season 2, because like I said, season 2 is going to be good, and like I say, and the new guys what come on, hopefully they'll enjoy themselves. And like I said, we'll try and get mentors for them if they need it, because I think if you have a mentor, then it's just a lot more easier, isn't it? If you've got someone holding your hand for that first season. So that's it. I think we're done. Thanks to Bushy, thanks to Fez, as always. Thanks to everybody in chat. Will I get the documents out today? I might try and get a few out now. If not, it'll be tomorrow, and you can all read them. And like I said, there will be a questions channel, so feel free to put questions to me in there, or anything. Other people might be able to answer them for you. If not, when I come back tomorrow, I'll answer them for you as well. And yeah, that's us done. So we got there eventually. Everyone got to hear me eventually after the first attempt. So yeah, thanks again, Fez. Thanks again, Bushy, as always. Congratulations on your win. What I knew you was going to win. Good luck to Fez when you play your game. Hopefully you'll win yours with good old Frank Millwall. So you survived. So the wedding's still on, everybody. So,
still on, but I'm just looking at the team I'm going to be playing next, and I'm going to be down about 1400 TV here.
Who are you against?
I think I'm going to be against Jarvo in the next round. Was he the number 1 seed, Crypt Guardians?
It could possibly be, yeah. He was up there. I think he only just missed out the Cup of Destiny because Bearzo beat him. He lost head-to-head to Bearzo because Bearzo beat him.
He has like the perfect undead team.
Well, he has the perfect undead team, but he doesn't have Sunnyville, does he?
We're going to need Sunny and a miracle, I think, looking at it.
Well, so, pray to God. Say God wills it. You never know. Sunny wills it.
You never know.
Anyway, right, guys, that's us done. Thanks again, guys. Take care. Like I said, I'll try and post them as best I can, and any questions, feel free to ask. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.